evening. This is
All an intro.
Total Movie Recall live stream. How's it going, everyone? Whoa, Jim, you're straight in there. You're on time tonight, my friend.
We're not.
How's it going, Jim? You've been
How's it
waiting
going, Jim?
10 minutes, man. Yes, I am joined by Badger. Hello, my friend. How are you tonight?
Ooh, Jiggy, man. Yeah, sorry about the bland ass background, but I'm at my father's house looking after his sick ass. So, yeah, this will have to do for now.
That's okay, mate. Cool. Paul, how's it going, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Long day in work. Just happy to be here again, talking movies is what I look forward to. It's one of my new things to look forward to each week, or each fortnight.
Same, man. Yeah, guys, officially, this will be a fortnightly live stream now, starting tonight. So be here every fortnight. Thursday, it'll either be 7, 8 p.m., depending. But yeah, we've got a big show planned tonight. We've got a lot of news to get into. Like, I got my news ready on Monday. Then yesterday happened. Fuck you, man. But I managed to get it all changed. Lot of news this week. Lot of important trailers, I would say. There's a very, very large count on a certain trailer that's just been released at the Super Bowl. But yeah, we'll get into that. We've got some news topics. We'll get into Fantastic Four. We'll get into Deadpool. Our main subject of tonight is Predator. Because over here. Anytime. But Lockdown Stash, how's it going, my friend?
Yes, how's it going, Tarek?
But yeah, we're going to do a Predator tier list. Andy can't join us tonight. I think if you head over to his channel, he's also doing a live stream, I think. But yeah, we're going to get into the Predator franchise because I think it's a franchise that we're all pretty passionate about. And with the new announcement of Dan Trachtenberg releasing Badlands. But we'll get into all that. Guys, first little news topic I want to get into straight away. Little small one, but we've got some new details on a certain Blade movie. So I think this is quite interesting. There's obviously not been a lot of movement on this film to begin with. But we're getting a couple of things out now. So Blade MCU movie is an R-rated period piece with Lilith as the villain. Now, I'm assuming Lilith is who Mia Goth is going to be playing, which I've got to admit, guys, I love Mia Goth, but I sort of wish she was staying away from Marvel, even though this is a character that I absolutely love. I think she's built for a higher purpose, Mia Goth, and that's not kicking people in the face like she just did on the Maxine set, but it's fine. But yeah, period piece. I think this totally makes sense for the character. If I'm being honest, it wasn't the first thing I thought of, but when you actually think about Blade and his powers and stuff, it does sort of make sense to go back. I don't know how far they're going to go back, but I'm all for this.
No, I'm bloody confused.
Badger, hit me up. What's confusing?
What you were saying about it being a period piece, I don't understand that. I didn't know that was a thing. I did not hear this, so this is news to me. But Blade ages like a normal human being, so I don't know. He wasn't ever supposed to be around back in the day, was he?
No, I don't think.
Period piece.
Yeah, but I think he ages like slowly. Do you know what I mean? And I think the New Line Cinema version of Blade, the Wesley Snipes version, I think they altered that. He, like, in the comics, he does go way back. He fights Dracula and stuff. It does go way back. I think they're doing a more like comic accurate representation of Blade. But the thing is, it's not like he's always been like. Here we go. Eleanor Talbot just said, wasn't Blade born in the 70s?
Hey, Eleanor. Yeah, she's one of my flocks. She's lovely. She is. You're my queen, Eleanor.
Well, Eleanor might know more than us. If he was born in the 70s, what does that make him? In his 50s? Yeah, I don't know. Period piece, it could mean a period piece could be anything, guys. It could be 70s, it could be 80s, it could be 90s.
Mhm.
Heck,
Yeah.
at this point is a period piece. But yeah, Badger, I'll go you first for this one, mate. Blade period piece. Does that tickle your fancy? And also with it being R-rated as well in the MCU. How do you feel about
First
it?
of all, you can't do Blade any other way. It has to be R-rated. You just come on, it has to be R-rated. It can't be anything else. And with it being a period piece, it's confusing to me, but I've never read the comics, so I'm only familiar with the 2 movies that we've had because the 3rd film didn't happen. So yeah, that's it. Those are the ones I'm familiar with. So yeah, if it's being more faithful to the original like source, awesome. Yeah, by all means, let's see how it goes. Just please bloody make it and stop freaking delaying it. It's getting
Really,
on the nerves.
Yeah.
It's the production for this film or pre-production has gone through absolute hell. It doesn't give me much hope at all. But Paul, what do you think about this one, mate?
Yeah, man. I mean, like, it's hard because Blade, for 90% of the world, Blade is the Wesley Snipes movie. That was their introduction to it. There's many people out there who will never have known the comics, probably still don't know the comics, nothing. They just know the Wesley Snipes Blade movie. That's Blade to them. So if they're going to do a different version, they need to, for me, step away from that. Now, I know a lot of Blade fans want this back. They want Wesley Snipes. They want the R rating. They want the coolness of the character of Blade from that Wesley Snipes brought to that character. But when it says period piece, my head goes straight to stuff like Transylvania and the Tomb of Dracula and all that. I don't think it'll. Yeah, I think it'll have that sort of vibe to it. I don't necessarily think it'll be in like the 1800s or anything. I think it'll just be maybe. I mean, the character debuted in the 70s in a Dracula comic, which was the Tomb of Dracula comic is a very sort of Hammer horror sort of esque comic. It might be jumping into that, like might be MCU's first sort of Hammer horror movie if they're going down that route. I don't know. I'm more intrigued by this movie now than excited for it. I just want to see what they do with it. The argument is there, like you can't do Blade as R-rated. I slightly disagree. I don't think it has to be R-rated. Would I want it to be R-rated because of the Wesley Snipes one? Yeah, of course, because I grew up on that movie. But I don't think it has to be R-rated. But whether or not that'll get fans of the original movies back up, maybe, I don't know. I just want to see. I just want to see this movie start getting made. I want to see behind the scenes. I want to see Marshall Ali in the bloody suit of what he looks like. I just want to start seeing this movie now. Just let's go. Let's get Blade going, man.
And that bloke ain't getting any younger, man. We need to get this ship rolling. I think it was announced nearly 4 or 5 years ago. But
man.
Sorry, dying. Paul, just to like what you were saying there, like Blade, the character, is totally built from Wesley Snipes. I don't care what you say. Like Blade comic book fans are so minute. Like you were saying, there's not many of them out there. He's never had like amazing runs. He's never like he was a part of the Midnight Suns, which is a pretty good comic, but like will take elements from that sort of European, like Transylvania sort of like aspect. That would be a really good route to go down. Like you have oh my god, I'm blanking. Not Van Helsing, but like a similar sort of guy who takes down Dracula. What the hell? I'm blanking on his name. Anyway, doesn't matter. Is it Van Helsing? Yeah, it is Van Helsing. Yeah. I'm sure it is. Yeah.
Didn't League of Gentlemen do that? League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, didn't they?
Yeah.
They had a vampire in there, but I don't think they had Van Helsing in there.
I haven't seen it. I don't know. I'm just assuming.
Right. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. Definitely.
What's crazy? I'll just quickly say we move on. What's crazy about the Wesley Snipes Blade movie that it hit that hard with audiences and fans that the comics then shifted to incorporate the Wesley. Like I think Marvel Max did a series in the early thousands, which was very reminiscent of the movie. They changed how the character looked to look like Wesley Snipes. They brought in the swearing, the R-rating stuff, the blood. So the movie is the benchmark. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
100%. As much as there was probably Blade fans before the movie is the benchmark, I think.
I've actually
it's
got
the exact same with Hellboy. The exact same.
Yeah. The Max comics I've actually got, and they're like sort of just come out just before Blade 2, but yeah, they totally image it all on Wesley Snipes. Guys, you know how much I'm a massive fan of this film. It's like, you know, Blade is very much a product of its times. It's like peak 90s. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know how well that'll translate in 2025 or whenever the film comes out, but we'll have to wait and see. Our next story, guys, is not a big one, but I just thought it was interesting. May as well bring it up. Quentin Tarantino is currently shopping his new film about, the Movie Critic. Recently, we've just got some casting info. It was recently announced that Brad Pitt is in talks to be in the film, and also, bit out of nowhere, is a certain Tom Cruise. Now, I don't think he's going to have a majorly big part in this film, but Tom Cruise was actually up for the role of Brad Pitt's part in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It came down to Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise, and I just think Quentin went with Pitt. And you know, I think he may have a cameo in this film. I don't know. I'd love him to have a big role, because if you know Tom Cruise, he's a real big fan of cinema and films. He was on an interview once and he was like, "Oh yeah, I try and watch a film every day." So just with this, you know, what Quentin's new film is about. There was rumors that this was going to be based on a real life movie critic from the 70s, but it's actually not. He's debunked that one. I'm interested to see what this film is, if I'm being honest. I think it's quite, the ironies there with like the Movie Critic being his final film. I also think there's some whispers going about with this being set in the 70s that this might be a sequel or set in the same sort of period as Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But they are just whispers and rumors at the moment. This is a rumor, but guys, Tom Cruise in a Quentin film. How are we feeling about this one? Paul, I'll go to you first. How do you feel about this, mate?
Yeah, take my money. Like you said, Tom Cruise is a fan of cinema. I can imagine him being a massive Quentin Tarantino fan. You know, it's like directors want to work with Tom Cruise. I can imagine Tom Cruise wants to work with Quentin Tarantino. I reckon they go together. Yeah, I'd be down for it. And I can imagine Tom Cruise, you know, he's a very versatile actor. You can do a lot of character acting. Tarantino's known for sort of bringing actors out of their comfort zone and creating these sort of over the top characters. I'd love to see Tom Cruise do something like that, something we haven't seen him do before. Man, take my money. Like, I'm there day one for any Quentin Tarantino movie. Anyway, love him or hate him, he is one of the best directors ever. It's
100%.
simple as that. Simple as that. And to have one of the biggest stars in Hollywood in your final movie, if it is indeed going to be his final movie, take my money, man.
It makes sense. That's all I'm going to say. Badger, Tom Cruise, Quentin Tarantino, how we're feeling?
Exactly what Paul said. Just take my money, man. It's not something I'm too juiced for, because I don't think he's going to be the star of this, right? It most likely will be a quick cameo or something. But regardless, he's probably going to make a big impression, sort of like what he did with Tropic Thunder. That little cameo he had. Do you know what I mean? A little cameo that he had, and yet notice that we all knew that you guys knew exactly what I was referring to. Yeah, it's going to be cool. And I'm saying it now. It's not going to be, excuse me, it's not going to be Tarantino's last film. It's not.
No.
not.
I don't know, man.
You don't.
I don't know, man.
No, you don't have talent like that and then just sit on it. It's not happening.
I suppose there's plenty of other things that he can do, like TV, books, plays. I think
Okay,
he'll write.
so-
I think what it is, he'll do like a true romance for like the next couple of years of his life, where he just writes movies for other people, other directors, other inspiring directors. I may be wrong on that one. You may be right, Badger. That man might get the itch and want to come back. And if he does want to come back and he wants to, you know, contradict himself for what he's been saying like the last 5-10 years, I'm totally cool with that. You do whatever you want, Quentin. Okay, next story, or not necessarily a story, but we've got a Joker Folie coming out at the
Joker
end
2.
of the year. Joker 2, yeah. We're not fucking about on this stream, guys. We say Joker 2.
Fuck
yeah,
that for a laugh.
Yeah, Joker 2 is arguably my most anticipated film of the year. I'm just going to get these images up, guys. Todd Phillips just released some images. A little bit disappointed. I had a feeling that he might have released a trailer for Valentine's Day, but
Makes
this
sense.
was-
You know what I mean?
It makes
This was
sense,
better-
yeah.
I was not expecting the Valentine's Day reveal that we did get from a other studio, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest. But yeah, I was expecting a trailer, Todd. Come on, you let me down there.
I think
But,
he's come out in the last day or two, well, maybe yesterday, saying April we're going to get the trailer.
Yeah, mid-April, we're getting a new trailer. That'll do for me. In fairness, it's not, it's, you know, October. It's a while away.
That image there, man. I shared that. I love that picture.
Same, Paul. Like, I tell you what, like, I'm not gonna lie, I've got a little bit of a thing for Lady Gaga, and this is just like doing
I don't like it. I don't like it. Stop talking.
What
you're saying, I don't like it. Just stop saying it. You're about to perv out on me, and I don't like it. And you with those glasses being pervy, it's going to be awful.
I'm not going full perv. I'm just look. I like the aesthetic. All right, but yeah, these images, guys. This first one, awesome image, awesome, love it. She looks great. Arthur looks top notch. This one also,
love it.
Cutie.
Wow! I haven't seen that before. That's great.
Yeah, so one thing I am getting from all these images that they've released so far is the chemistry between these two, and I haven't even seen anything on film yet. Do you know what I mean? So it's like these are all just images, and it's like coming through the image. But my favorite image is this one, right? So when you look at this, it just screams like Charlie Chaplin, like them old silent films. Like if you look at the moon in the background, it's like a very fake moon, and these apartments in the background are very fake. Like, but in a good way, like an old school movie, Singing in the Rain sort of vibe. Guys, I honestly think, right, this film and Deadpool 3 are going to be the major big winners this year. You got to remember that first Joker film made $1 billion, and that was a depressing drama, right? That you know, that was a rough one to get through as well. Like, but an amazing experience. I personally think that film's a fucking masterpiece. But this, like, this is cooking something really special, I think. And I think, you know what this image also reminds me of? You know, like Poor Things that's just come out recently. Even though I didn't see it, a lot of their backdrops and stuff like that are very like fake big sets and stuff like that. Very elaborate, that it's not real, but like we're going back in the days of like old school set dressings. I don't know. Just I got it, I took a lot away from this image particular. But Paul, what do you think about these new images? And we get a trailer mid-April, man. What you saying?
I loving it, man. I've kept saying right since they announced this movie with Lady Gaga in it, and it being a semi-musical. I think the scenes we're going to see that if you go back to that scene of the black and white one, I believe that's going to be sort of like a sort of trip out that Harley Quinn has, and she's romanticizing being with the Joker, and it will go to that sort of Charlie Chaplin era as they're doing it. I think I'm on the nose with that. I think that is what they're going to be doing. I could be completely wrong. I do feel that's where we're going to get the musical elements from it will be these sort of in her head, sort of romanticizing the Joker. I can't wait to see. We've already seen Joaquin Phoenix in this role as Arthur Fleck and the Joker. I can't wait to see Gaga in the trailer, and I want to hear how she talks. I want to see her mannerisms and how she portrays that character. I mean, for me, Margot Robbie knocked it out the park as that character. She will always be a generation's Harley Quinn, but I'm looking forward to seeing someone else step into the shoes and see what they can bring to the character, because Harley Quinn as a character is multi-layered and you can do so many different things with that character. And to see her in a sort of R-rated, more street level, more realistic go on the character, I'm looking forward to seeing what she does with it, man. I can't wait for this film.
Absolutely. Like Harley Quinn's had like multiple transformations throughout a runtime. Like even in the last 10 years, they've managed to do something really unique with Harley Quinn, I think, like with the Poison Ivy relationship in the comics. You know, they've come out of like the Joker Harley Quinn days, but this right now is doing all sorts of wonders for me. Badger, how do you feel about these new images and this film in general?
I'm feeling we should get rid of Paul because he keeps stealing my thoughts, and I'm getting annoyed about it.
Okay,
He's fucking,
I keep going, Ellis. Please don't say what I'm about to say.
Yeah, man. Yeah, pretty much everything Paul said, I'm agreeing with. As everyone knows, I'm not the biggest fan of Batman and all that, but I was very pleasantly surprised with Joker. Even though it's technically not a Batman film, it's not in the same vein exactly. You know what I'm saying. I loved it. Didn't see it as the masterpiece everyone else did, but I loved it. Might I add, the 4K Blu-ray is exquisite.
Yes.
Exceptional. So yeah, I'm a big time fan of it. In fact, I love that film so much that I ended up getting rid of my 4K Blu-ray just to buy it again, but Steelbook, just on Steelbooks. I love it.
Keep upgrading.
Yeah, man. So I do love it. I am passionate about it. But like a lot of people, I was like, oh, come on, the idea of a Joker 2 is stupid. You've gotten away with it once. Let's just stop. Let's just not continue this because you're not going to do it again. But with all of these quirky images, seeing like it's transferring everything that was good about the first one, but onto the next one, just with new layers. Oh man, you give me some of this. Mr. Badger wants it. Mr. Badger's gonna get it. I'm gonna be pushing fools out of the way when I'm going to that cinema, man. It's like plain and simple. I'm mad gassed about it, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be awesome. Lady Gaga, wow, brilliant choice, and yeah, I can't wait for this.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to seeing that trailer mid-April for sure. I mean, like that the trailer for the first Joker film. My partner will back me up on this one. I was like watching that shit like Clockwork Orange at the end, where he's got his eyes like peeled open, and it's like, oh my god, this is amazing. Yeah, man. Okay, guys, next story. Right. So, as I was saying with that there, I was expecting a Joker trailer for Valentine's Day, but I didn't get that. I got a Fantastic Four announcement. Right. I am hella jazzed about this one, and I'm glad because it's took me a while to get excited really about anything Marvel MCU related up and coming. We're going to get into a certain trailer that I'm not as hyped on as other people a little bit later. But for now, don't ruin it. For now, Fantastic Four announcement. So worst kept secret in Hollywood, I feel like.
It really is.
So for this one, there was a strike last year. I think they've had these actors all booked in for months,
yes.
apart from Pedro. though. I think they were being a bit funny with their Pedro casting, as in they were trying to find someone for Reed, I think longer than they were trying to find for Sue, Johnny, and Ben Grimm. Right. First off, just on the casting announcements, I like them all. You know, I love Pedro Pascal. I know there's some like beef out there. I think it's being made out to be a bit worse than what it actually is when it comes to Pedro Pascal. I don't think anyone's really like talking about like the color of his skin or him being Caucasian or anything like that. I think, you know, for me personally, when I first found out it was Pedro, I was just like, oh, you know, The Last of Us, Mandalorian, you know, he's very current in our faces at the moment. But we've said this before. I don't know how long he's going to be on The Last of Us for, and The Mandalorian, you know, you can't see his face. Yeah. As far as
Ellis. Ellis.
Moving straight on. Might have ruined something there. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Oh. But I just want to say as well, guys, this is probably my favorite poster that Marvel have ever done, if I'm being honest. I was absolutely blown away by it. I love the logo that they've got going on here, the new logo. I think it for the style that they're going for here, I think it really works. I think it's set in the 60s, if I'm not mistaken. This magazine cover is from 1963, I believe. But yeah, I'm just all about this. I love the costumes that they've got going on here, like the astronaut boots and stuff like that. Yeah, man, I'm really elated with this. I think aesthetically, it couldn't be any better. Paul, what are your thoughts on this one? It sounds like we're going to the 60s. We've got Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby. We sort of knew about that. We've got Joseph Quill as Johnny Storm. Aaron Mock. Right, the guy out the bear, the actor. I will eventually learn your name, brother. I will learn it. But right now, I can't remember it, and it's a mouthful to say.
He was also in Punisher season 1.
Yes, he was. And he was also in Andor. He's been good in everything I've seen him in. If anyone's watched The Bear, I think you'll totally understand why he's been cast as Ben Grimm. He plays their cousin in The Bear. I highly recommend that show. But yeah, Paul, what are you thinking about this? We're back in the 60s. Fantastic Four announcement, new logo. Got a look at the suits here. We've got like a feel of what the film might be going for. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, love the announcements, how they did it. The logo, everything about it. A lot of fans, I don't think they've come out and said, but a lot of fans, people on social media saying they reckon it's going to be set in the 60s because of this poster, the way it's aesthetically like the 60s. And I believe The Thing is reading a magazine from the 60s. It screams sort of like that 60s vibe, doesn't it? Casting's fantastic. No pun intended. I love Pedro, Last of Us, like you said, Mandalorian. Vanessa Kirby, very excited for that because, well, I'm excited, but I'm a bit annoyed that they've got one of the hottest women in Hollywood playing a character that turns invisible. That's very annoying. But yeah, Vanessa Kirby, man, I get lost in her eyes. It's crazy, but I digress. Joseph Quinn coming off Stranger Things season 4 made a massive impact with people in that. He's now a household name because of his part in that series. I think. Am I right in saying that? Do you reckon? I think he's quite 100%. A big. He's quite a big name now. Ebon Moss Backrack.
Yes,
that his name. Yes, Ebon Moss Backrack. Yeah, fantastic casting. Yeah, I love it. Can't wait to see a trailer. Can't wait to see them in how, what they actually look like and will look like. We need MCU needs to get some winners now, man. Comic book movies in general, we need to get some winners back now. And Fantastic Four is a massive name for Marvel, so they need to use it right. Can't wait. Yeah, I'm excited for it, man.
it's a big player because, like, even if you're not like a big comic book reader and you don't know a lot about the Fantastic Four, they're definitely in most people's subconscious because they've already had like 4 movies over like since the 90s. Do you know what I mean? So they are in
Yeah.
people's subconscious. They know what they look like. They've got a vague idea about them. So this is the sort of movie that would make the MCU a lot of money, I imagine. Badger, what? I know you're not the biggest Marvel guy. Fantastic Four. What your thoughts on this announcement? Obviously,
Juiced.
you're aware of Pedro Pascal's work and stuff like that. So, what are your thoughts and feelings on this one?
Completely juiced, believe it or not. I'm juiced.
Cool.
I've known about Pedro Pascal. He's been rumored to be in this for like a month or 2 now, so I already was expecting it. Now it's been confirmed. I'm happy about it. I'm really, really excited, mainly just for him. I'm not familiar with all of his work. I'm only really familiar with his work in Last of Us. And Paul, you've seen The Last of Us. I think he was good in that, wasn't he? Wasn't he good in that?
Was all right.
Yeah, okay, yeah, just a little bit possible.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he'll be able to step up his game from there. Yeah. The guy was just blew my freaking socks off. I went in very skeptical into that show because I was like, dude, this guy is not Joel. And I was like, yeah, it's Joel. He's Joel. Yeah, it's Joel. It's definitely Joel. I learned bloody quick. Phenomenal. And yeah, I'm sure he's going to knock out the park. One thing I will disagree with you on, Ellis. You're saying that people that you don't think people have been like kind of judging the fact that he's not Caucasian.
Yeah.
And they have been left, right, and center.
It's such a small minority of people, though. I know John Campion made a massive stink about it on his show like yesterday. I don't think it's that. I think it's the fact that Pedro's just overused, if I'm being honest. It's got nothing to do with what he looks like. Just from where I'm sitting, it's the fact he's in 2 major franchises at the moment. He's the face of 2 major franchises. I think that's ultimately the problem.
I'm not complaining. I'm happy about this. It's going to be groovy. Yeah. The only other thing I'd say is that if they get rid of the guy who's playing as the Thing, I'll do it. I'll do it like gladly. Come on, I made the best Thing. I don't care what anyone says. Look at me, I was made for that role, man. It wouldn't require much makeup. A role like that, man, that would be kick-ass. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome, man. It's gonna be fun. I am curious though, will the Thing be entirely CGI or will they do what they did with the 2005 film? We'll see.
Yeah. I think they'll go down the Hulk route with it, maybe.
Yeah, I can see them doing that. I think they'd want to stay away from the 2005 movie.
They want to stay away from all of it, really, don't they? Every part of it, they stay away from. I mean, it really is a shame if the best film that had Fantastic Four in is Doctor. What was
Doom.
it? No, not
Doctor
that.
Doom?
What was it? No. Who's the Marvel guy? Benedict Cumberbatch. What's his name?
Doctor Strange.
Oh, Doctor Strange.
There we go. Forgot it. Sorry, yeah, my brain fart. Yeah, if Doctor Strange, that was like the best thing we ever saw Fantastic Four in, Mr. Fantastic. And I wasn't even a fan of that film, but that was sadly the best thing I'd ever seen done with Fantastic Four in a film. So hopefully they'll learn their lessons. Hopefully.
Just want to get your thoughts on like who do we think is like up and running for Doctor Doom casting? I know I don't think he's going to be getting like a mainstay in this film. Like the rumor is like sort of post-credits scene sort of thing.
Adam Driver's getting quite a bit of traction to play the role.
It is a good shout. I don't know if Driver himself would be like 100% up for that because it's quite a similar role, isn't it, to Kylo Ren? It's like even down to the bloody same. You could take the same cape from Kylo Ren and shove it on Doctor Doom, paint it green. You're good to go. Yeah, I'm not sure. There's been some wild names bandied about, like Cillian Murphy. I couldn't see that one whatsoever. Mads Mikkelsen's another one that's been bandied about. I think leave that bloke alone. Get him, put him face now. Stop making him heel. Do you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I'm looking forward to Fantastic Four. This has got me hyped. Love the logo. I was saying to Paul yesterday, it reminds me of the Fallout games and the aesthetic of the Fallout games.
Yeah.
I played the first 15 minutes of Fallout 4 a couple of months back, and like the house that you start the game in
Like the
looks like
suburban sort of.
looks like that house. And as soon as you go in the kitchen, it's got a robot. I think it's Herbie, it's called in the Fantastic Four. You got a robot in the kitchen serving you coffee. It's pretty insane, and they've all got blue jumper suits on.
Mhm.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not saying it's ripping it off. I'm just saying, I'm into it. I like it. I like it. All right, guys. Next story. Super Bowl Sunday just gone. We got some trailers. Right. First off, did we see the trailers? I'm talking about Kingdom of the Planet of the
Planet of the
Apes.
Apes.
I'm talking. What else am I
didn't see that.
talking?
Twisters.
Yes, Twisters. So, Twisters. Right. I don't. The trailer wasn't amazing. The only reason I'm saying the trailer wasn't amazing, I'm into it. I'm gonna go and watch it. It just looks exactly like
Yeah.
the
First
first movie. It's
Yeah, it
mental.
does.
Just with a little bit more updated graphics, which I'm cool with.
Yeah.
But like the problem that this movie has is it doesn't have Bill Paxton in, and it doesn't have Philip Seymour Hoffman in. Do you know what I mean? So like, I don't know. I don't think Glenn Powell's got the fucking like. I love Glenn Powell. Do you know what I mean? And he looks really fun in this trailer. I can't lie. But I don't know, man. Like it was mental. I'm watching it. I'm like, what year is it again? Oh right, yeah. But I'm looking forward to Twisters. I can't lie. That was out of the trailers, probably is the one that I got a little bit most jazzed about.
Okay.
Twisters, Paul. Any good for you, mate?
You've covered it, mate. I watched the trailer when this is them going, remember that 90s film about the tornado? We're going to make it again, but with the special effects technology we have now. That's exactly what I got. It looks the same aesthetically. It's like it's set in the same sort of place in the outback sort of cornfields and shit.
Yeah.
It's called Twisters, but for some reason they still only have one tornado on the poster. What I thought they did too. I don't know. But we are missing these sort of films, man. I loved all these films back in the day. Deep Impacts, Armageddon's, all them. These natural disaster films. We haven't had one in so long. Some blockbusters, they're Marvel movies now. So we need some of this back. I'll be there day one. I'll go check it out, man. I really enjoyed the original. It's made me want to go and dig out the original. I don't even think I own it, but I'll find it somewhere to buy or stream. Because I haven't seen it in a minute. But yeah, it's some a fun summer blockbuster disaster movie, a newer version. Let's see it. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Badger, what do you think about the Twisters trailer? Did you see this one?
Yeah, I saw that trailer. I'm really confused by it. Because why are they calling it Twisters? Just call it Twister. I mean, it just looks like it functions as a remake. Why does it have to be a sequel? How is it going to connect to the first one? I don't know. It feels a bit strange. But with that being, I don't think any of the characters are returning, are they? I don't think.
I don't think so.
Even the truck looks exactly the same. Is it a remake that has a slightly different name? That is silly. If you're going to remake it, just call it that. Okay, whatever.
Remake.
Weird. Well, either way.
No, I don't. I do think it's a sequel. I do think it's a sequel. I don't think it's a remake.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, the fact we're all confused is a bit of a bad thing, but whatever. It looks like it's going to be fun. It looks like it's going to be fun. I do really like the first one. I do own it on Blu-ray.
You get it on Blu-ray,
yeah? Fun stuff. Yeah. I've got it on Blu-ray.
Is it easy to get? Yeah, I'll get that. I'm going to get that soon.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, it's fun stuff. I like it. It's a good film, and we'll see what this new one's going to be like. We'll see.
I can confirm it's a sequel.
Yes.
But
you won't need to. It says here there's no required reviewing of the original to understand it, though. But it's a standalone sequel.
Oh, that's good because I was really panicked about that one. Second trailer we got at the Super Bowl was Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Now, the first trailer I really dug. The second trailer, I was a bit like, I'm a bit so on it. I don't know really why.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit.
Hey, Paul, do you want to just leave? Shall we just leave and do our own thing?
Oh man, I thought.
Oh, mate, wait until we
Go,
get into
no,
the
go on,
next
go on,
one.
go on, go on, go on.
But yeah, it looks fine. It's just like I've got I love Dawn and I love War as well. I think them two films. Rise is really good, but the last two that Matt Reeves did were fucking amazing.
Yeah, man.
Especially Dawn. I think that is just like a blockbuster for the ages that sort of gets a little bit not as much recognition as I think it truly deserves. I think it's just like from start to finish amazing. Was still brilliant, but it doesn't do what it says on the tin sort of thing. You don't really get that full scale war. Like you get snippets of it at the end, but it's not really about that. This new one looks okay. It's just like, I think from what I'm aware of, that this one connects more to the 60s versions of the Planet of the Apes. We're more up to that sort of time period now. It looks good. It looks good. I'll be there. Maybe it's not day one, but I'll 100% be there for it. Paul, what are you saying? Firstly, right, before I get you, Paul, just 2 seconds. I was watching, I don't know if you guys watch it, but the Hot Mic with John Roker and Jeff Snyder. It's pretty good because Jeff Snyder is like a scooper. He's pretty shit hot with his scoops as well. Apparently, there was a test screening for this film a couple of weeks ago, and it didn't hit for a lot of people, which I found interesting.
Okay.
And this is not the sort of film that you can really go in and do a quick reshoot. If they were doing reshoots on a film like this, I don't think it'd happen because it'd just be way too expensive with how CGI heavy it is. And I think they would have to delay it for like at least a year. But yeah, that aside, Paul, what did you think about this trailer?
Yeah, I love the trailer. I loved Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I love War of the Planet of the Apes. I think I love the trailer. So there's that. I love the trailer and I'm excited for the film. But the missing of Matt Reeves might hurt it slightly. I think Matt Reeves is what made War and Dawn such fantastic movies. So to have him missing, I think he might be producing or something to do with the writing or screenplay, but he's not directing this one. But I grew up on the original movie, so to see the time period that it's in now, where it's closer to that, you know, it's set many years after Caesar. Like Caesar's not around anymore, so it's more feels like a Planet of the Apes movie rather than a prequel to them.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing that. You know what they can do with it in modern times and with today's technology. I'll be there day one for it. I think that has scared me a bit though. What you said about the test screening.
come out.
No, go on. Sorry.
No. Carry on, Paul. Carry on.
I was going to say, just because when you do hear that, 9 times out of 10, once the film does come out, unless they've done drastic changes to it, it still ends up being a bit of a dud of a movie. I don't think it will be a dud, but when you're coming off 2 fantastic films, if you're making a new one, you want it to be just as good, if not better. And if it's not, people are going to call it out.
I think that's the problem we've got here. It's coming off 2 really good films. Badger, what do you think? What are your thoughts on the trilogy as a whole, like franchise? Are you a fan of this one?
Everything you said, I agree with. Everything you said about the Planet of the Apes films, I agree with. Like the second one was the best one. But with that being said, yeah, I'm a fan of all of them. First one was really good. Adored the second one. Third one I thought was great. Probably almost as good as the second one. But yeah, I'm with you. However, I have not seen the trailer for this new film. I'm dead excited for the film. Haven't seen the trailer. I don't know. There's just something about it where I'm just not in a rush to watch the trailer for it, and I can't tell you why. Either way, I'm quite nervous because I feel like maybe they've just forced it out there a bit too quickly. You know what I mean? Like just because it was successful, just keep it coming. Is goddamn, just chill. I don't know anything about it. I don't know who's in it. Don't know who's making it. I don't know what it's about. How close it is to the original films. I got no idea. So we'll see. But I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, shout out to the Tim Burton Planet of the Apes film as well. I think that one gets a lot of undeserved shit.
Yep,
brilliant film. Tim Roth, Mark Wahlberg. It's good stuff.
I like it, man. Solid film.
Yeah, man. Okay, guys. Next trailer was for Deadpool and Wolverine. So this is a bloody hell. This trailer has made waves. It is now the most popular. Oh, what you do? Are you about ready to chop my head off there, Badger?
I got your address, man. You be careful with what you say next.
All right. Well, I'll go last then. If you're so jazzed on this one, my friend, do you want to take the lead on this one? Deadpool
Yeah,
and Wolverine. What did you think about this bad boy trailer?
I think you should put my square at the top where you are right now. Do
All
it
right.
now.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty much I'm juiced for it, dude. I'm a big time fan of Deadpool. First film's one of the best films I've ever seen in my life, in my opinion. I think it's absolutely exquisite. Yeah, means the world to me. And the second one, need to watch it again, but I liked it. I really did like it a lot. Thought it was funny as hell. Just didn't love it like the first one, but it was funny as hell though, man. Really, really good stuff. And yeah, I'm pretty juiced about this one. I think it's going to be absolutely hilarious. Now, I won't lie, I do kind of want them to go back to what the first one was, where it was a lot more just not straightforward because it wasn't, but like, I mean, like grounded. So I mean, it really was, if you break it down, just about a man who loves his girlfriend and wanting to get back to her. And then, of course, they got it bigger and bigger and bigger. Now that's fine; it obviously works. But this is something about that I know I miss. But I still like this a lot, though. This is cool, and I like the idea of us seeing the MCU through his eyes, like using him as a gateway. We see them through his eyes. I like that idea. It's gonna be fun. Hugh Jackman coming back is gonna be hilarious, and I love it.
Cool, man. Paul.
Yeah, I thought this trailer was awesome. As a trailer for the movie, I think it's awesome. I feel like I know what you're going to say. And I feel like it's what a lot of people are saying is, why did they not show Wolverine in the trailer? Because everyone's seen the leaked photos. That's what people say. Everyone's seen the leaked photos. My missus hasn't seen the leaked photos. We've seen the leaked photos because we're on Twitter and in the movie space every day. But casual people haven't seen these leaked photos. So when people are watching this trailer for the first time who just want to enjoy the movie, they've seen that trailer and they've gone, holy shit, Wolverine's back in it. They teased him really well in the trailer. They haven't shown, we'll see him, I reckon, by trailer 2 or 3. I probably won't watch any more trailers because it's sold me enough as it is. I love the concept of him coming into the MCU. That it's very meta how he's doing it in the trailer. He's like, see my Marvel Jesus, I fucking done it. That's such a great line. I love his hairpiece. It's fucking
man.
It's fucking oh man, that's brilliant. It looks well shot. It looks, the fights that we see in the trailer look well choreographed, funny as hell. Load of returning characters. I think it's going to be a special one. I hope so. I hope it's a special movie. Like I said earlier on, the MCU, they need to get some wins now. And we just this week we've had Fantastic Four. We've had the trailer for this. We've had a little X-Men trailer drop today about the animated series. So the MCU fans are winning at the moment in my eyes. Can't wait for it. R-rated. They've stuck to the guns. A lot of people were scared Deadpool coming into the MCU. They were going to tone it down. Doesn't look like it by this trailer whatsoever. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, man. So for me, this is a little bit of the Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning effect. So for that movie, we were like inundated with behind the scenes footage of Tom Cruise on the stunt and stuff like that, and it just didn't end up being as impactful as I wanted it to. Now we are in this bubble, and I wish we weren't sometimes. So like the behind the scenes photos, particularly of this exact sequence, is like diluted this trailer a little bit for me. It's got nothing to do with the fact that we didn't see Wolverine. I think they're playing the right game there. I think as a trailer, it's a really good trailer. It teases but shows you nothing really. It's shown you enough for the internet to spark certain little like theories and what's going on and which Avengers movie are they in here. To me, this is just a bit like, I'm just a bit like over the overall like sort of this multiverse concept that the MCU has got going. And I know it's not going anywhere for the foreseeable next 5 or 6 years or whatever it is. That is just something I'm going to have to like book up, swallow, and just crack on. Do you know what I mean? But for me here, like the trailer's good and stuff. It's just like I'm not personally like a huge fan of Deadpool. Like I went and saw the first film in cinema, enjoyed it. Went and saw the second one, enjoyed it. I enjoyed the campaign of getting Ryan Reynolds to play this character more than I actually enjoy the character. I've read little bits of Deadpool comics here and there, but nothing major. I don't, I can't say because I haven't read enough. I don't think he's just not one of my favorites as far as comic book characters go. I think if I'd have grew up with Deadpool when I was like really younger, instead of watching the likes of Blade and all these like older superheroes, this would be my number one thing. But like, yeah, man, I'm not like overwhelmed with like Ryan Reynolds comedy and stuff like that. So like a mixture of how I feel about Deadpool in general mixed with the multiverse stuff that Marvel's doing, it just is a little bit, it's fine for me. But that's okay. That's fine.
What I will say about the multiverse stuff is, in the comics, it's actually really well done. It's just for me, well, just in general, that Marvel aren't doing it very well at the moment. So they need to course correct what they're doing, in my eyes. Like the multiverse storyline in the comics is fantastic, but they're not portraying it very well and not getting people on board with it in the live action movies.
Yeah, it's just not translating well. It's not translating well for me. You know, I'm fully ready to get back on board the gravy train, baby. Do you know what I mean? Like, but right now, I'm just a bit like, I'm a bit marveled out, and this didn't really look any different from prior movies. I know there's not a lot shown here, but even like to do with the TVA and stuff like that, I don't know. I'm just a bit over it. I'm a bit over it, and we're going straight back into it, and we're bringing in a lot of characters that mean a lot to me in my early childhood in the early 2000s. Them Fox X-Men films were a big deal for me. Do you know what I mean? Growing up, so as they were for a lot of people. You know, there's a part of me that I wish the Hugh Jackman that was in this film was the Hugh Jackman that we had in them early 2000s films, but I know his story ended with that, with Logan, quite rightly, and they don't want to bring him back up and ruin any of that. So, but yeah, guys, I don't want to be a total Debbie Downer on it. Like, I thought the trailer was funny, especially the start of it with the hairpiece, and he's like, whoa, 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 is that supposed to be scary? Like, I love all like the delivery he has there, but yeah, man, like, don't get me wrong, I'm probably going to be there day one, but like, I'm just a bit so-so on the trailer. I was more hyped over the Fantastic Four poster. I thought there was more going on in that poster that raised all these interesting questions than this 2-minute trailer that we got, sort of thing. So that's my thoughts on that one. But
how'd you get the scissors?
Yeah. No, put the scissors away, man.
The man speaks sense, man. He speaks sense.
Yeah. Of course.
No, it's you know, like, different strokes for different folks. It's just like, I wish I was into the multiverse storyline. I wish I was, but I'm just not. And like, my fear is that there's a lot of characters that I do generally give a shit about that are coming into the fold at this time where we're like having incursions and shit. Do you know what I mean? It's like, whoa. I don't know if it's too much for my little noggin to handle, but
the good thing with that though, Ellis, is you're not too hyped on the trailer. Once you see the movie, you might have a change of tune. I hope we all do. I hope by the time we've all seen this movie, like, yeah, we're back.
Oh, mate, I'm you know, by the time we're sat here reviewing it, and I'm like gushing over the all the versions of people we see and stuff like that. You know what was quite funny? So in the trailer, there's that shot, isn't there, of the back of Wolverine, and I think he's in Madripoor, and like, there's like these speculation, like, so he's got an alter ego in the comics, hasn't he? Patch, I think it is. So it's quite funny when you look at the behind and everyone's thinking that's Hugh Jackman. I don't think that's Hugh Jackman. I think it's someone else. Okay. I think it's someone who the fans were like fan casting for a little bit for the new Wolverine about a year or two ago. Won't spoil it, but definitely, I don't think it's Hugh Jackman. But anyway, yeah, Deadpool 3. I'll be there day one. It's just I wasn't like I couldn't believe this trailer got as many views as what it did. Like that
Crazy.
blew my mind. Like, yeah, the first two Deadpool movies were popular, but like they weren't transcendent to the point of where like my mum's sitting down and watching it, or it goes a little bit over my brother's head because I don't know, it's a bit juvenile for him or whatever. It's I don't know. I didn't see it being as big as what it was, but it shot me down. It shot me down.
You know what I'd love to see? I would love to see a fucking Blade cameo. Like so bad, so bad.
Yeah, but it has to be Wesley Snipes though.
Exactly.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Have you paid your taxes?
Yes, my guy. That was quick, man. You gotta respect that, man. That was quick.
That was good.
Fuck yeah. That was
He must have got he must have gotten paid because he's getting work, isn't he? He was in a film with Eddie Murphy a couple of years ago. But yeah, Deadpool 3. Stop saying Deadpool 3, Deadpool and Wolverine. There was a few rumors going around the day before that it was going to be Deadpool and Friend. I love that.
Oh, that would have been good. That would have been a great title.
Just Deadpool and Friend in yellow. It was fucking brilliant. I was a bit gutted when it was Deadpool and Wolverine, but I get it. It's the name recognition. Right, guys, moving on to our last news story that's going to enter into our little discussion that we're going to have for like the next half an hour or so. So basically,
leave this here.
Spoiling it, Badger, spoiling it. But so recently announced, sort of come out. Well, no, I think this was always going to happen, but I thought, in a way, we were only going to get the sequel to Prey. However, this is not true. We have a new Predator movie announced, guys. New Predator movie in the works with Dan Trachtenberg directing. Titled Badlands, a new Predator feature, is not a sequel to Prey, which was set in 1719 and centered on a young Comanche woman forced to fight for survival against the intergalactic hunters, but rather a brand new story. Plot details are kept secret, but this one is said to be set sometime in the future. Like Prey, however, it too will feature a female character. So I was elated when I found out this news because I think they looked at what they had and the concept of what they had by going to these different time periods and decades and stuff and thought we could do something here. I think initially they probably just thought, oh, let's just do a sequel to Prey, but hang on, no, we can do something really interesting here. I really enjoyed Prey. I've enjoyed it even more I've watched it a few times now, and each time it gets a little bit better. Now I've got over how the Predator looks. That was just a little nitpick I had in my initial viewing of it. Not his like scale and his body and stuff like that. He looks amazing. It was just the face. I was a bit like, ooh, but it's just.
I still have that problem, but I gotta look past it.
Yeah, the mask is cool though. Do you know what I mean? Like everything else is amazing. It's just when he takes that mask off. But I was super excited with this. I think they know the assignment with this now. You know, like out of all the franchises that Disney acquired, back when they, bought Fox, I didn't think. I thought the Alien and Predator franchise would just go to shit and they wouldn't do anything with them. I thought we were looking in real bad shape when it came to them franchises, but they're actually doing something new and unique with the franchise. I can't believe it. Like Disney, they're actually nailing these two franchises, Predator and Alien. We haven't seen Alien Romulus yet. But, like taking in like a chance on Fede Alvarez, who like done Evil Dead and stuff like that, like making it more horror based, setting it between Alien and Aliens. You've got some balls there. And like with Dan Trachtenberg here, he came up with something extremely fresh for this franchise. Yeah, this was, I think, getting made before Disney acquired it, but Disney have acquired it. They've took the ball and they're going to run with it, man. And I really can't wait to see the new film is titled Badlands. But Paul, got you first, mate. I know you're a big Predator Predator franchise guy. What do you think about the news of it's not only Badlands is being released somewhere in the future, but also we are getting a Prey sequel as well, but that's very early in development, whereas this is going into active development. But yeah, Paul, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think since this movie come out, Prey, it's everyone, every Predator fan, every movie fan, every fan of this film, a franchise, all said, you've got something here. You can just drop the Predator in a time period, and there's your movie. You just have somebody he has to hunt. You can drop him anywhere. Badlands, they've said it's going to be set in the future. I think they've said it's going to be like a post-apocalyptic future, so we're talking more sort of Mad Max style. I think it'll be, which I'm more for that because I think that fits Predator a bit more tonally. If it went a bit more sort of like Blade Runner-y, like sort of cyberpunky, I don't think it'd work. I'd still be there day one, but when I heard that it was more of a post-apocalyptic one, I just thought that works better for the Predator and the aesthetic of what that character is. Bringing the same director back, yeah, he knocked out the park with Prey. I'll be there day one. I hope this one gets a cinema release. I really do. Prey 2, I do wonder if Prey 2 will follow on from the first movie, where they'll stay in that time period, and they do sort of like a Predator 2 thing where they just send another one down. Maybe, I don't know. We'll find out. But yeah, I'm all for new Predator movies. And like you said, Disney acquired this from the acquisition of 20th Century Fox. They're knocking it out of the park. Aliens, the new Alien movie, is sounding like it's on the right tracks. So we'll see. We'll see if they can knock that out of the park as well. But yeah, new Predator movie after what we have just seen of Prey. I'm hyped up. I'll be there day one for it.
Yeah, 100%. I think we could just do with a little trailer for that Alien movie. Just a little teaser. Just show me what we're dealing with here. Yeah. But Badger, this new Predator set in the future. Now, when it says set in the future, so I wasn't aware of the post-apocalyptic angle they were taking. Firstly, my mind went to like Blade Runner, 95 Judge Dredd, all that sort of stuff. Like that's where it initially went. But now, when it says the future, do they not just mean the future, but not our time? So further on from when was the first one set? 1719. So they could mean like World War II. Do you know what I mean?
That the source I got for that post-apocalypse thing wasn't like an official thing, by the way. It was just something I'd seen someone throw out on Twitter or something saying they think it's going to be sort of a post-apocalyptic one. So it might be a Blade Runner-esque or cyberpunk movie. I don't know, but anyway, go on.
It could be. But yeah, Badger, I know you're a big fan of this franchise as well as me and Paul. How do you take this news? Good news?
Yeah. Great news. First of all, I'm slightly confused by some elements of it, but I'm still overall completely optimistic. First of all, I did like Prey. Very pleasantly surprised by it. And because obviously the kind of post-credits kind of scene in that film did kind of hint that the sequel's coming. Yeah. I'm glad that they actually are going along with it, because I'm still pissed off we haven't got a Predators 2, because that film ended on a cliffhanger. I would like to see what the continuation of that, but it looks like I'm never getting it. Thankfully, that's not going to happen with Prey. Looks like we are going to get a nice continuation of it, and I look forward to it. But what I will say, well, spoilers for anyone watching for Prey. Doesn't Naru get the gun at the end? If I remember correctly, didn't she have the gun? She does. Yep. Right. Well, if that's the case, I'm saying it now. For once, I think a Predator should win. For once, I think a Predator should finally fucking win at the end. And I think what should happen is Naru ends up dying, and the Predator takes her gun as a trophy, and that's how the Predator ends up old as fuck, giving it to Danny Glover in Predator 2. I would love that. I think that would be awesome. So that's something I would like, but we will see. When it comes to Badlands, that one's mad intriguing. Are they doing a female protagonist for that one too?
Yes.
So they've said, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm obviously I'm all for it. I'm wondering if they're just getting a bit too woke with that. Like maybe you're pushing it a bit too hard. but we'll see. At the end of the day, it's probably going to be badass. So I'm looking forward to it. We're going to see. One thing, that whole post-apocalyptic thing has not put me off. It's just thrown me off because intriguing idea, but it's completely different to what I thought it would be. What confuses me about it is that I don't know why you'd think of putting it in the future when there are so many interesting time scales to put it in, like World War II and all that. You know what I mean? I want to see all that. I want to see a Wild West Predator film.
Oh, so good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
I want to see all of that. Go on.
You were just touching on something there, Badger, about like you want to see the Predator win. Like I do sort of agree with this. Like I want like a good like look, I love AVP, Alien versus Predator. It's not great, but I love it. One of the aspects I do like in that is where they fucking pair up and they go after the alien queen. I would love to see another pairing up with a human protagonist, someone who the Predator respects, who's like, yeah, this little woman's a little killer. This little Karen woman. She's got fucking knives everywhere, pistols everywhere. She could take me out, so I'm gonna partner up with her, and we're gonna go and take out a load of, I don't know, Yakuza or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to see him as like a so good guy in the Predator film for once.
Maybe one day, but I wouldn't want it for Prey 2. Not for that one.
Oh, not Prey 2, like, but this Badlands that's coming out, like, sort of like have him as a focus. Where I suppose he already did that in the Predator a little bit. Not as so, because they have the big. I was about to say, why don't we get like a bigger Predator to come after like one of our classic Predators? But they sort of did do that in the
Twice.
Predator. Yeah, they did. So forget everything I've just said in the last 5 minutes, guys.
What's
Predator said that? Yeah.
What is interesting about the female protagonist and it teaming up? That was a massive focal point of the very original comic book, Alien versus Predator, that the movie and the games will span out of. In that story, the aliens come down, and that's set in sort of the future as well. Again, it's sort of post-apocalyptic though, and it's on like a ranch, like a farm. And the Predator ends up teaming up with the people he's starts hunting to take down the alien. So obviously they did it again in the AVP movie, but it does work, you know, because the Predator as a character has that sort of line, doesn't he? He's like a sportsman sort of thing, where he believes in honor and stuff like that. So yeah, it could work. I'll be interested to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, cool. Speaking of the comics, this is the other thing that kind of confused me a bit. Well, pretty much. I'm hoping they kind of don't do the post-apocalyptic thing. It could be cool, but I've kind of got it in my head because of Predator Concrete Jungle, and I'm not referring to the comic book, by the way. Speaking of the comic book, you've reminded me of that. There is a comic book. You got to nice. Yeah, there is. I haven't read it myself, but I know all about it. Predator Concrete Jungle is a sequel in comic book form that's from the perspective of Dutch's brother. And for some ungodly reason, in 2004, I think they did a Predator video game called Predator Concrete Jungle. Same name. Fuck all to do with that comic book. Nothing. But either way, that game was quite peculiar. Very underrated in my opinion, but it was peculiar because it kind of was set in the future. It was a very strange storyline back in like the early 1900s. The humans take Predator's technology and they use it for their own. And now in the future, you've got a load of gangsters with Predator technology fucking everyone up. Predator comes back to sort it all out and shit. Very peculiar storyline, but it was quite interesting. And that whole futuristic aspect of it, I really dug. I really thought it was quite intriguing. So I was thinking it would be something along those lines, but if it goes post-apocalyptic, I guess not. I'm sure it's going to be cool. I am worried that they're getting a bit too woke heavy with constantly pushing, hey, it has to be a woman, But we'll see. I could be wrong. Hopefully I am wrong. It's going to be cool. We're celebrating, man. Predator time. The only other thing I'll say dead quick, if you really want to creep me out, give me a Predator with no dreadlocks. Just bald. That is some creepy shit. Like, have you guys ever seen a Predator skull? Holy shit, that is creepy as fuck. You give me a predator. Give me a predator. It would look like Cobra from the Planet of the Apes films, that bad ape. It looked like that, like this weird, creepy, scary looking motherfucker. No,
That is a good shout, that though. Like, if like we were to see a predator without like the dreadlocks and stuff like that, they're being cut off because he's like dishonored, like his like pack or whatever it is. Like, yeah, that'd be cool. It'd be visually very different from what we've seen before. But yeah, guys, I'm looking forward to Badlands. Anything predator wise, I look forward to.
Dead Quick as well. The title. Sorry, Dead Quick. The title. It looks like from now on we're not going to get Predator films called Predator this and that. It's just going to be called new stuff, Prey and Badlands and shit. I like the idea. I think it's unique. Go for it. I do. It's cool.
I like it. Yeah, good point, man. But yeah, I just thought to end our stream off, it doesn't have to be a heavy conversation or anything like that. We can get into it pretty quickly. There's not that many films here, but we'll just have an overall discussion on the Predator franchise. And I've got a tier list here. We're going to start off with the best.
I actually will not sadly have time because I do have to sort things out with my father, but I will be able to join for a little bit of this, so I don't have too long though.
Yeah, no, that's fine, mate. I don't think we're going to be that long anyway, to be honest. I just want to do a quick little rundown. We spent quite a lot of time on the news stories, but there was a lot of news stories to cover this week. Right, AVB2 Requiem. Woo! What a bag of shite this one is, but it's a bag of shite that I watch. Every time I do a marathon of these films, I still watch it when I can see it on my TV. I've got to be stood at a certain angle to actually view it properly. But yeah, I know this one got loads of shit, rightly so. The acting's absolutely god-awful in it. But there's a couple of elements to it that I really enjoy, the end fight being one of them, the whole concept of a predator-alien hybrid. Yeah, it was a bit dumb, but it's one of them. It's a fun one for me. I would happily put this in C tier. No. Paul, Alien versus Requiem. What did you think about this one when it was released?
Stinking pile of shit. I think it's a terrible film. I went to cinema, so I'm never going to cinema to watch it. It was awful. Yeah, I will get onto the one before it, AVP, which I've got fond memories of, but I thought this was a bad movie. I didn't like the setting. I didn't like the directing. I didn't like, even though the AVP game uses the Pred Alien concept, I didn't think they did it really well. It didn't look that great in the movie. It's dead dark. The characters in it are hella annoying. All these sort of like Friday the 13th dickhead teenagers running around like dead arsehole characters that you can't get behind. I'm not a fan of this movie whatsoever. But if you want to throw it in C, go for it, man, because it's your tier.
Should we keep it in D? We'll keep it in D. Badger, what do you think?
I really don't like this movie.
What do you think about this big steamy one?
You can't make me talk about it, Alice. Do something. Try and make me talk about it. Go on. What are you going to do?
All right. Move on. AVP, what do you think about this one? Now, this one's a bit better, though, Badger. Come on. AVP.
Damn straight it is. Damn straight it is. Literally, I'm not kidding. It's a coincidence that we're talking about it because I was watching clips of it earlier today on YouTube. Look, it's not a great film by any stretch of the imagination. And I don't know why people found it so offensive because these Alien versus Predator films were not actually made to be canon. They're not trying to fit in. They're just fun bits of fan fiction. It's cool. So I'm not offended by it. It's got some characters that it suck in areas and all that. And I don't think it's got the best setting in the world, but at the same time, it is quite different. A pyramid under the ground of the ice. It's different. Could have been better. I would have preferred it to be on planets, or on another planet somewhere. But solid. It worked. And Jesus Christ, seriously, some of the action scenes were really, really well done. And the practical effects, all the effort they put into have like wire work for the aliens, people wearing alien suits with the wire work running and stuff. It's like, damn, man, you really put the effort in. So much fun. Are you joking? Predator versus a Queen. You give me some of this. Give me some of that.
Mate. When you actually say it out loud and like, you know, they did it really well. Like, to be fair, like that end fight scene, like I'll disagree with you slightly there, Badger. I do really like the setting where they go. I like the whole concept of them like drilling that massive hole down into like the underground like pyramids and stuff like that, the Aztec pyramids or whatever they were. Yeah, I really like this one. Like I was saying earlier on, I like the partnership where the Predator teams up with the protagonist and they both go on their hunting mission of the alien queen. Like
The scar was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. I don't think it's the best looking film ever. But apart from that, really enjoy AVP. Like it's one of the first films I actually remember watching with my brother and being like, it used to scare me, this film, for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, I always stick it on when I'm doing my marathons. I do like this one. It's a lot of fun. It's turn your brain off. It's like the Predator alien film that you'd get like if you'd think about as a child, you're reading all these comics and stuff like that, and you're like, I'm gonna make a Alien versus Predator film, and this is probably somewhere near where you'd get to. I like Paul W.S. Anderson. I know he gets a lot of shit, but he does like these sort of films, science fiction films, really well. Yeah, big fan of AVP.
I think it's safe to say, right? If this comes out in 4K Blu-ray, we're all getting it, right?
Oh yeah,
at least
100%.
I am. I want to see that. I want to see. Okay, maybe not Paul, but I want to. Me, I definitely would like to see these action scenes in 4K. Fuck yeah, fuck yeah, man! It's a good-looking film in areas.
Nowhere near as good as like some of the other entries in this list, but it's better than AVP Requiem. I'll say that. Paul, what are your feelings and thoughts on Alien versus Predator?
It's a lot better than Requiem, yeah. I've got fond memories with this movie. I think I told you guys this story a few weeks ago in our WhatsApp chat, maybe, that I used to do video game design in college, and this movie come out when we were doing that, and the entire class all went to watch it, including our tutor. He was a big fan of the franchise, and so we all had a great time. But it is an entertaining movie. It's like you said, to turn your brain off. Enjoy these two iconic characters butting heads. I do agree with you, Badge. I'm not a massive fan of the setting, but that's only because I've got the pre-notion of the comic book and the video game, which came before it. So I was like, there's your source material, just adapt that. But in order for them to have adapted that, the budget would have been skyrocketed. You know what I mean? So you only had a limited budget, so they had to work with what they've got. Predator looks cool in it. Aliens look cool in it. It's practical. There's CGI stuff in it, but for the most part, you know, when you take the practical effects out of these characters, which, you know, a couple of the later Alien movies did, you can notice it. You know, it's not tangible. I think what lets it down slightly is they got rid of the R rating, which the Alien and the Predator franchise is known for. I think it was a 12A, this movie, so not very much blood in it, which, if you love blood and gore in these movies, that is missing from it. But yeah, I like it. It's a fun movie. It's not the best, but it's not. I don't think it's the steaming pile of shit that a lot of fans make it out to be. It's a fun movie. It's a fun popcorn movie.
Quick question, Paul. Quick question, because you played the games. Did you play the Alien vs Predator game that came out just before this one did, like a year before? It was Evolution, or what it was? Alien vs Predator.
No, I didn't play that one. I had Alien vs Predator 1 and 2, the video game. They were PC exclusives at the time. I think, in fact, I don't think they ever transitioned off the PC, but I think they did one for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, an Alien vs Predator reboot video game by Sega, which was really good as well. Yeah, that was a great game. Again, a complete different setting from the comic and that. And I believe that game was better than this movie in terms of story and setting.
I guess so. I wasn't really a fan of that one, that 2010 one. I didn't like it much at all. I thought it was mediocre, but it had some great bits. I agree. Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Are we agreed that B's a good place for it relative to the Predator?
I'd say C. I'd say
I'd go C. I'd go C.
All right. I'm booted out there. There we go. Where are we putting Prey? Because we've sort of just talked about this one quite a bit. I would go A.
B.
A.
B.
I'd say B.
What did you say, Alice?
Oh, I said A.
I think it's A.
Yeah, I'll
2-1, we win.
2-1. Sorry, bud.
Look at the size of me. I count as 3.
Right.
can't
What
beat
about
me.
the? What about this raging classic, The Predator? Shane Black, very disappointing in the film. You know what?
I
Like,
rewatched this the other day.
yeah, look, right. I do find myself rewatching it. I can't lie, right? I'm in this very small minority that I actually like the group dynamic of these people that they have together. I know that like the jokes aren't brilliant in that, but I can't help it. I actually quite like. Is it Boyd Holbrook? What's the lead guy? What the hell is he called again? The lead in the Predator. I like him. I think he's quite charismatic for an action star. He was the villain in Logan. And
Boyd Holbrook.
Yes, Boyd Holbrook. And we've got Sterling K. Brown, who's not in the film. He's not got a massive part, but the little parts he does have in, I find funny as like the whole lab scene in the first half of this film is very good. It's very good.
Yep.
The practical effects on the Predator, I would go as far to say they've never looked better. Like they've never looked better. Like this, you get a full scale look of what the Predators look like when he's sat down on that lab scene, and everything coming after that, like the kickoff, the initial escape from there and stuff. First half of the Predator is not too bad. It's not too bad. Things start getting a little bit hairy in the second half of the film. I think there's a few other things as well, like the Predator dogs I could have definitely done without. They were done obviously a lot better in Predators, but yeah, for me the Predator it had a lot going for it with Shane Black. Obviously he felt like royalty when it comes to the Predator franchise, but ultimately this was a massive letdown on release. With substitute viewings after it, yeah, it's got better, but for me initially this wasn't amazing. Paul, what did you think about this?
Yeah, same. You stole what I was going to say. The first half of this movie is actually really good. It's when you hit the second half, all the flaws for me start hitting. What does me head in about these Predator sequels, and we'll get onto it with Predators as well, as much as I think that's a better movie. I hate it when they sort of start outdoing the original Predator, because I think the original Predator creation that Stan Winston came up with is perfect. Genius, perfect. Doesn't need to be topped, but these movies need to keep going bigger, trying to go bigger and better and make these bigger Predators and more advanced Predators, which sort of diminishes the original creation of the Predator for me. And that really pisses me off in this movie that they do that, because they don't look as good either. It's not as if they've made a better version of the original creature design. They look not as good. So that bit pisses me off. The team in general, I don't mind, but obviously all you're doing when you're looking at that team is comparing them to the team from the first movie, which again for me is flawless team. That's just iconic team of characters. So they're not as good. So that's another, a downside to that movie. In terms of action scenes, though, and visual effects, yeah, it's a good movie. It's one of them, though, when you're marathoning them, once you get to this one, it starts going downhill. So you're just like, I've watched the best Predator movies already, so now I'm going into the not as good ones. And this is my least favourite outside of the AVP, movies. It's probably this is my least favourite Predator movie. Man. Is it as bad as AVP though? Yeah, it is. I think I'd rather watch AVP. I'd put this in D, man.
Oh, well.
Keep this in D. Paul. I'm not in D camp. I'm probably in C camp, I think.
Okay.
Badger, what are your thoughts on Shane Black's The Predator?
First of all, I absolutely do not consider this to be canon, and I think most fans have wiped this out of canon. I think all the stuff happened that people just say did not happen. I kind of agree. This to me is just a goofy comedy, and I won't deny it. It's one that I really do enjoy. The last half, I agree, goes downhill big time, but that first half is solid. That lab scene is great. Seeing the Predator actually pick up a gun and in a weird, awkward way shoot at people. Like,
yeah. I forgot totally about that.
Great stuff. Seeing the Predator do something as simple as bite someone, I was like, yeah, look, this is cool, man. I like it a lot. And I really, I'm sorry, I like the Loonies quite a lot. I kind of loved them, the Loonies. They made the film awesome for me. Wasn't the biggest fan of the main character, but the Loonies. Smashed it. I thought they were hilarious. That guy with the Tourette's, holy shit, man, was fucking hilarious, man. He was stealing the jokes with me. What else was it? There we go. The Big Predator. That for me was just horrendous. I couldn't stand it myself. I do remember this. I'll say it dead quick. Predators. There was a sequel to Predators in comic book form. Haven't read it, but I know a lot about it after doing research on it. And apparently, Royce, the main character from Predators, ends up having to fight a giant predator that has 4 arms. And I was like, that sounds fucking awful. I thought to myself. I don't know how fans thought of it, whoever read it, but I personally thought it sounded stupid. I was like, oh, thank Christ I didn't get that sequel. What is the next film? The Predator, and I get a giant predator minus the 4 arms. I thought it was terrible, goofy, over the top, but I can't deny it. It's just turn your brain off, and it just had its fun moments. Some of it really did have some genuinely funny moments and all that, and some elements of the last forest scene, elements of it I liked. It's definitely C for me. It's mediocre as hell for me, but it's got some damn good bits, and I gladly rewatch it. In fact, I like it a little bit more than Alien versus Predator. Definitely.
Yeah, you know what? It's been a minute since I watched AVP, to be fair, but I might agree with you.
Yeah, same. You've actually convinced me. Is it better than AVP? Yeah, let's go C. You know what? You've convinced me.
We'll go C.
Yeah.
At the top in there. Right. This next one, Predators. Big fan of Predators. Badger, I know you're a huge fan of this one, mate. Why don't you just go first? Tell us your quick thoughts on this one.
All right, yeah, I won't make this one too long. I recognize the flaws. I know it's very much in service of the first one, and I got problems with some of it. Most of it, though, I think it's fine, because just like Creed and Star Wars Force Awakens, I think it does very similar things to the first film, but there's enough in there to make it fresh. The concept is genuinely creepy. I like that, the concept of the story. I really like the chemistry between our main characters. Sure, a load of them are complete scumbags, I know, but I still just genuinely enjoy their situation. I really, really liked Lawrence Fishburne's part in it. And up until what I didn't know was, I didn't know that Arnold Schwarzenegger was meant to be have that role. I didn't know that until I saw your live stream, Paul. I didn't know that when you said that live, which I was watching. I was like, oh, that would have been awesome. Mm-hmm. But yeah, either way, Lawrence Fishburne was great. That whole cameo was chilling for me. So much of it just worked. I'm absolutely in love with it, and no exaggeration. I know it's not one of the best films I've ever seen, but it's easily one of my favorite sequels of all time, and hands down, might not be one of the best films, but definitely one of the most entertaining films I've ever seen. Sometimes I watch it. Sometimes I watch it like twice a year. I'm not exaggerating. I liked it a lot when I first saw it. Years went on. I was like, what the fuck? I just keep on rewatching it. It's like my safe place. I'm a massive, massive fan of it. This is A for me. God damn.
It's highly rewatchable, mate. Highly rewatchable. Like, I'm exactly the same as you. Like, since it's been out, I've watched it numerous times. It's just so easy to get into because I think the pace is so good. Like, the film does not fuck about. It starts off straight away, boom, like you're midway through the year. I love all that opening scene. I really like Robert Rodriguez as a director. I think he was pretty perfect for this film in general. I like the ideas that he brought to the table. Like
Predator dogs.
Yeah, and not just that. I appreciate more in this one that they tried to make like a more super Predator in this one compared to how they did it in the Predator. Because at least in this film, it was practical. Do you know what I mean? Like as soon as he took that mask off, it was huge. But like it was tangible. You could touch it. Do you know what I mean? It was all there. Yeah, this, like you say, Badger, you made a really good point there about The Force Awakens and
Creed.
What was it? Creed, yeah, perfect example. It is a lot like that. But the fact that this takes place on another planet and the way that's revealed, top tier stuff for me. Yeah, Predators is easily an A for me. Easily an A. Paul,
the only thing I'll say, I'll just make this dead quick. Also, my only real issue with the film, which I've never managed to get past, The deleted scenes are awesome. I really wish they made it to the final cut. They're great. I'm such a fan of the film. I even checked out all the deleted scenes. They should have been kept in. And for the love of God, give me a sequel to it. I want to know what happens next. Big time.
Yeah, man. Paul, what do you think of Predators?
Yeah, man, I enjoyed this film. Initially, when I first watched it at the cinema, I wasn't a big fan of it. I remember walking out thinking I wasn't a fan, and I didn't revisit it until it released on Blu-ray or whatnot. And I sort of had to wean my way into enjoying it. By like the second and third watch, I really was become a fan of the movie. Great cast, like you said. Taking it to a different planet was cool. I love that they used the original score back in this one.
Yeah.
I think it's the only other film they've used the original score in. As soon as that sort of like jungle theme kicks in when you first see the Predator strung up, I was like, oh man, that's awesome. One of my favorite scenes in the film is when they've got Danny Trejo's character sort of on the floor, the Predator, and he's mimicking his voice for him to bone chilling that scene. That scene's awesome. It sends shivers down my back. It's just dead creepy the way it's done. The super predator in it isn't as offensive as one in the Predator, but I'm not I'm just not a massive fan of it. I just think, like I said, I think that original Predator creature design is so perfect that they didn't need to touch that. But I get why. I get in this movie, it makes a bit more sense in this film. My only criticism of the film that really, it's a part of the movie I do not like, is Topher Grace's character when it's like daft twist when he's like the evil doctor. It does not work for me whatsoever. I don't think Topher Grace is a great actor anyway. Topher. And I think he's awful in this movie, especially when he turns into the maniacal side of him. That whole plot point in the movie just doesn't work for me. Take that out, I think the movie would have been better. Lawrence Fishburne's part in it, I really like. He he's chewing up the scenery, but I like that he's been on that planet for so long and his head's gone, and he sort of figured out how to take the Predators down. I love all that angle. Great sequel, like you said. Yeah, it's a part of a good trilogy. Now there's more of them, but yeah, it's a good movie. I like it. I'd probably go B with it personally, but it's 2-1, so we'll throw it in A.
I'd a couple of years ago I'd have probably said B, but because of the amount of times I've actually rewatched this film, it can't, like, the rewatchability factor is just too high for me to ignore. So we'll go A. I secretly love all these films, guys. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, same, too fair.
Right.
All of them.
Just Requiem 2 is just a bit of a no-go. But Predator 2, right. So apart from the first one, this is my go-to. This is the one I watch all the time. I love this film. It reminds me of like just peak movies of what I used to love, right? So just take Predator 1 out of the equation. It's a classic in my eyes, an untouchable classic. Predator 2, though, you're introducing like the bloody sergeant from Lethal Weapon. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got all these characters, like a lot of crossover from the Lethal Weapon cast. Yeah. But I like the fact that we're in the city, we're in LA, like there's this heat problem. They established that right at the beginning. One of the best openings of all time. One of the best ever coke sniffing scenes of all time. Like,
rubs it in the wound.
Oh my God, yeah. And like the whole like standoff with like the head of the Jamaican gang, like in the alleyway and stuff like that.
King Willie.
King Willie.
Fucking awesome stuff. And like, I like how brutal, like, when he's like attacked the gang and he's left them all like strung up and they go in.
Oh, it's a great scene, that, man.
Such a good scene.
Fucking voodoo magic.
Yeah.
I believe shit happens.
Yeah. And I just love Danny Glover, man. Like, I love him. Like, I love Lethal Weapons, like one of my all-time favorite franchises is and to see him in this, and like give him his due. He was going up after Arnold, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, he had a lot going to go up against there, but he owned the screen. He was massive. He had massive sweatpants. I loved it. And he fucking Bill Paxton, man. Awesome. Like, this is like quintessential like 80s, 90s film that like the films that we all used to love. This just screams it in every way. It's Predator, but after a big night out. Do you know what I mean? Like with the boys. Like, it's one of them ones. Like, Predator 2, I'm a massive fan of. I'll still only put it in A because I think S is only reserved for one film here. But yeah, I'm a big fan. It goes Predator 2 for me. But Badger, what do you think about Predator 2? Are you as big a fan as this as me, or do you have some problems with this one?
You and Paul are definitely taking the lead with this one. There's no debate. I'm a fan of this. I am. If I was to score out of 10, it would probably be like a 6 or a 6.5 for me, because I just got so many problems with it, mainly like with the start. Well, not the start, it's got a great opening, but I just mean the human characters just aren't as interesting to me as, I'm not even just comparing it to the first one, just in general. And forgive me, I'm not the biggest fan of Bill Paxton's role in it. I just wasn't. I know he had his good moments. Be careful now. Be careful, Ellis. Don't overreact. You'll get through this.
Get the scissors, Ellis. Get the scissors.
But yeah, I wasn't the biggest fan of him in it. But that being said, the action was shot well. It does expand the Predator mythology in a very exciting way. It does expand the new weapons. And it is gripping. Watching it was gripping. On top of that, it's so ballsy. There's still to this day, over 30 years later, there's no other Predator film like it. None. It's in its own league, the new setting and all that. It's the weird abstract like mythology of voodoo shit or whatever. It's like, what the fuck? It's so peculiar. And it works very goddamn well. And I really do like it. There are some terrible, I have no idea how it cost more money to make than the first Predator, because it looks so much cheaper. Some of the effects are pretty terrible compared to the first one. There's also some terrible mistakes, like how when the Predator takes off his mask, he can somehow see around in heat vision. Makes no sense to me whatsoever. Big problems, but I forgive it all. Why? Because that last act, the last 25 minutes, full-blown, brilliant filmmaking. Just fantastic. That whole scene on the rooftop, and he's climbing down the pipe and all that, whilst the Predator's whilst the Predator is healing himself with all that blue that in the bathroom scene. It's like, this is just amazing. Intense. It looks great, shot brilliantly, leading to one of the best Easter eggs in cinema history, the alien, the xenomorph skull and all that. It's just balling. It really is so satisfying. There's so much cack in it, in my opinion. So much that I really wish was changed. But thankfully, there's so much in there that I enjoy. Back in the day, if I watched it back in the day when it came out, I probably would have been pissed off. Oh, fuck me. We came from Predator to this. But time has absolutely validated it, in my opinion. God damn, it's got some brilliance in it. I'm a fan.
So glad you mentioned that rooftop scene there. I was going to bring it back up just after you finished speaking, but like, yeah, like the whole shot of him when he's healing himself in the bathroom and the blue lights on in that Badger, it looks awesome. Cinematography there is fucking great. But
and the stunt of the Predator falling, the stunt of him falling, great stunt. It's incredible when he's when the Predator's falling and he's trying to stop himself from falling with using his wrist blades, stabbing it into the wall to slow himself down as he falls. It's just incredible. And it's a real stunt, by the way. Someone was falling on wires. It's incredible. Well done to them.
Yeah, sick, man. Sick. Predator 2, Paul. What are your feelings on this one? I don't think I spoke to you about Predator 2.
No. I love this movie. Is it as good as the first? No. But it's I love the setting. I love they take it from the jungle into the urban sort of LA, crime-ridden LA. I think that was a good transition. Take it somewhere different, not in the jungle again. Characters not as strong, like you've mentioned. I think the Predator mythology, what Badger said, how they expand the Predator mythology is what I take out this movie. The new upgrade weapons. One of my favorite scenes in the movie is when Gary Busey's commando team are going into that meat locker because they find they realize he can see heat vision, and the Predator's like, fuck you, I can see all different shit, and he changes it on his little things so he can see them. Love that.
A fucking alien.
Yeah, a fucking alien. I think you guys have covered it, man. It's a great movie. It's not as good as the first. I will say about this that you guys have not said, which I find this was crazy when I found this out, that growing up with this movie, I loved it. And it wasn't until I discovered the internet and sort of movie reviews did I realize that this movie was really critically panned when it was released.
Yeah.
But Badger said there when it was released, probably like, this fucking ain't nowhere near as good as the first one. But times, it stood the test of time, and it's done it justice. I like it. I think it's a great sequel. I feel like I'm just repeating myself. I'd go A with it.
Yeah, I'd go A.
I figured you both would. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you guys are definitely taking the lead for me. For me, it's a B. Yeah.
It's my go-to Predator film. Like, if I'm going to sit down and watch a Predator film, it's probably Predator 2 that I'm going to put on. Not that it's a better film, it's just I get a lot of fun out of it. Like Bill Paxton's character, I laugh at him the whole way through it. Like, even that train scene, guys. We didn't even mention the train scene. It's fucking awesome, man. It's absolutely awesome. There's a lot of intensity as well. Mainly coming from Danny Glover's character. He's pretty intense, man, throughout the whole film. But
I'll quickly say, I think as a kid, I think I preferred this one to the first movie, just for the and I'm talking to Cam, talking about like it's 7-8 years old, and and it was the same reason why I as a kid enjoyed RoboCop 2 more than the first one, because the lead characters in it more. So the Predator's in this movie a lot more than in the first one, because obviously in the first one they're hiding him for the good majority of the movie for story purpose. And in RoboCop 2, he's in it right from the start. So as a kid, I'm like, I just want to see RoboCop and want to see Predator. So as a kid, I actually enjoyed this movie more than the first, but not now. Not now.
Yeah, that's fair. I think the beauty about... Go for it, Badger.
For me, it was really cool seeing that these predators they don't just kill everyone on sight. Seeing them actually like giving the gun to Danny Glover and all like, take it. I was like, oh shit, okay, that's unique. I thought he was fucked at the end when they all appeared. It's really unique, and I think it's really unique. Definitely does more right than wrong. Definitely. This is a really, really entertaining film. So solid. And I'm glad that time validated it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Like, I don't get me wrong, I'm not totally blind to the faults with this movie and the mistakes and stuff like that. I just get personally a lot of enjoyment out of it. Reminds me of a better time in life.
Good.
Right. Man. First Predator film. We're not going to spend too long on this, guys, because I'm just checking the time. I just want to be pretty tight, concise with this one here. This movie is a classic. Paul, like you were saying there, you don't actually get to see the Predator that much in this film, but that's okay, because the squad of characters that we've got to support this is amazing. With like the likes of, Jesse Ventura, Arnold, you got Shane Black, Carl Weathers.
Oh, Weathers.
Rest in peace. But yeah, man, this is like, apart from Batman 89, being very vocal, this is my second favorite film of all time. It's one I've watched beyond countless times.
Oh, yeah.
And it never gets old. And I think a lot of it's to do with, Paul, you mentioned earlier on about the music, Robert Rodriguez implementing that in Predators. Guys, for me, Alan Silvestri's score when it comes to Predator is the Jaws theme. It's John Williams' Jaws theme. It's simple. It's simple as. It's like, it's so like ingrained to that character that like when I saw Prey, I'm not gonna lie, like I remember bringing this up in Badger's review on his channel when we did Prey, is like the score's a really big fucking deal with me. Like it's only on subsequent viewings of Prey that I've actually got into the score and I understand it's the way it is. But
I think movie themes in general are just lacking in movies nowadays. We just don't get them anymore.
Totally, 100%. And this was just one of the best. As soon as you hear the first couple of notes of it, you know it. Do you know what I mean? It's like the same screaming alien. You know it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Predator for me, characters are 10 out of 10. It's one of the best action films ever made. It's one of the best horror films ever made. It's one of the best science fiction films ever made. It's highly rewatchable. And the third act probably is my third act out of all the Predator films, where it's just Arnie covered in mud, one-on-one, with bow and arrows that he's made out of trees and shit. But like, what more can you say about Predator? It's just one of the all-time best movies, in my opinion. Badger, what do you want to say about this classic?
Holy moly. That's what I fucking say about it. I would ask Predator, can you please actually fucking age like most films do? Because I cannot believe how it's 35 years old now, how relevant it still feels. I can't believe how well directed that is. A perfect blend of so many different genres. Arnold Schwarzenegger is surprisingly, genuinely great in it. He is. He actually does give a great performance in it. That his moments of compassion in between being a complete badass, and also notice that in the last act of the film, he doesn't really say much. It's just a completely almost has no dialogue in it. The last act. And he carries that whole thing by himself, and it's incredible. Kevin Peter Hall was phenomenal as Predator. Predator's one of the best villains in cinema history, easily iconic. The other thing as well, there are some details that I love when it comes to the main characters. Their chemistry is iconic, just incredible. And I know you, Paul, I know you agree with me on this. Bill Duke was absolutely phenomenal in it. I know you agree with me on this. He's easily the best performance in the whole film, and his best performance of his career, in my opinion. He was exquisite. And my favorite detail about him, about everything he goes through. There we go. You beat me to it. Pretty much is in the intro when Long Tall Sally is playing in the intro when they're in the chopper. I think it's playing from Jesse Ventura's speakers, I believe, right? Jesse Ventura's character.
Yeah, it's like a boombox.
Blair, right? Did I say, yeah, it's Blair's boombox, and he's playing Long Tall Sally out of it. Obviously, he ends up dying. So when Bill Duke snaps at the end, what does he do? He starts singing that song because he's missing his friend, or he's snapping, Long Tall Sally, you got everything.
It took me a while to put that together. When I didn't notice to pick up on that detail as a kid. It wasn't until I watched it as an adult I realised that.
Yeah, I love it. It's just wonderful, and also I like the little detail when they find the skin bodies. You can hear the predator purring in the background if you listen closely. It's there. It's watching them. It's unnerving. It's just an exceptionally well-made film, and I cannot believe how relevant it still feels. One of the best films. If it's not in my top 10, it's definitely in my top 20. What an exceptional piece of storytelling this film is. Yeah,
man. Paul, what do you think about this beauty?
Yeah, man, I'll keep it brief, man. We live in a time where we had, around this time, 4 lightning in a bottle movies. We had Predator, Aliens, RoboCop, and Terminator. They are my bread and butter. Lightning in a bottle, this movie. Simple story, absolute simple as hell, brought on by, like I said, I covered it, like it's one of, the Predator for me is one of the best creature designs in movie history. Absolute masterclass in creation, design, everything about it's perfect. The ensemble cast is amazing. It's probably, I can't think of another movie ever where you are locked in with these characters within 5 minutes of the film. The film tells you in 5 minutes everything you need to know about these characters, and you're on the journey of them. You want them to survive. You want to go on this ride with these characters. Arnie, it's probably the only Arnold film where he doesn't feel like the Predator's the attraction in this movie to me, not Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah. It's probably the only Arnold movie where I think that. But he's awesome in it. Awesome one-liners. Kevin Peter Hall as the Predator is just awesome. The final act's badass. You've covered it, man. It's one of the best movies ever made. One of the best action sci-fi movies ever made. And like Badger's just said, considering it's 34, even longer, might be whatever, however long old it is, man. It's
36, 37 now, I think.
36, 37 years old, man. You can watch this and it does not feel dated whatsoever.
Yeah, man. Totally get. Imagine how different things would have been if we got Jean-Claude Van Damme in this film playing a big
That's
Orange
crazy.
alien.
That was even a thing.
Mental,
I would,
innit?
yeah.
Crazy.
Jesus
But,
Christ. So we go in B.
B. B. It's a solid S tier. Golden. But yeah, guys, we're gonna end it there. Just coming up to the 2-hour mark. Yeah, so join us fortnightly on a Thursday night. So we won't be here next week, but we will be here the week after that. And it's a bit annoying because literally the day we do our stream, the next day I think is when Dune Part 2 comes out. So
Oh
just
god.
keep your eyes open for some reviews. I'll let you in. Keep your eyes open tomorrow. I'll be releasing a quick Iron Claw review that me and Paul did for you guys, and that'll be out tomorrow. But
Oh,
yeah, guys,
I didn't know that. That's great.
a little cheeky one before the stream, little cheeky 10 minutes. But yeah, guys, Paul, thanks for coming on. Badger, thanks for coming on, mate.
Cool,
Do you want to
man.
guys plug anything you've got coming up, any channels, anything like that before we go?
The main one with me is just that I've been busy working on my review of the thing and all that, and it's doing my bollocks right. And I've been working on it for so long. I've been working on all of it, but that will be out early next month. So yeah, check it out.
Cool, man. Paul,
Yeah, I'm also gonna plug Badger's review, which I'm holding out for. I cannot wait to see that because it's Tony Hawk's one with one of the best edited videos I've seen. If you haven't seen his Tony Hawk's video, go check that out.
Thank you, man. That's
and
very
the thing is one of my favorite films ever, and I'm a big fan of the prequel, and I am a big fan of the video games. So I can't wait to hear all your thoughts on it, man. I'm also going to plug this stream, man. It's fun being here. I love doing it every fortnight. Yeah, I can't wait to keep going with this.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And
all the links and descriptions, guys, for everyone's channels and YouTube, Instagram, down in the description. So get on that.
Yeah,
thank
you for the kind. I was going to say thank you for the kind words, Paul. I appreciate that. And but be warned, you're not going to like what I've got to say about the last half of the game and the prequel. You're not going to like what I've got to say. The gloves are off, because with those ones, but
God, they've got rid of that dislike button as well now.
Right. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. Thanks for your comments. We'll see you not next week, but the week after. Goodbye.
Take care, lads.
Take it easy.